Hi, this is Robert Clickybeard with the Commercial Landscaper Podcast. I'm going to take about 30 minutes of your life to deliver some amazing content from accomplished leaders, business owners, to provide you some great Ironman mindsets to help you scale your business, to become a better leader and push yourself out of a comfort zone into something that's going to stretch you. We hope you really enjoy these shows and encourage you to like and share with your friends, your network, family members. Try and get a wider audience and improve our industry. On each show, I'm going to try and pull out one type of Ironman mindset, insight that you could take back to your business. And if you're implementing one insight every single week or all the shows, then it's going to make a dramatic improvement to your business. Super excited as well to share that we're partnering up with Boss Business Management Software, which is the ultimate cloud-based solution providing comprehensive insights and tools to optimize performance. Join the Boss community today and transform your business so you too can say, my boss is working for me. Cheers, everyone. Hi, this is Robert Clickybeard with the Commercial Landscaper Podcast. Really excited today to be joined by Greg Wittstock. Hopefully, did I get that name right?
You did, but you could just say Greg Wittstock, the pond guy, because that's what I'm known for in the industry.
Okay, perfect, Greg. Well, thank you for joining me on the show today. Greg, just for we have audience all around the world. Tell me about Greg. Tell me about your background.
I am the founder of Aquascape Inc. out of Chicago. This is my 33rd year in business. I started this while I was a student at The Ohio State University in Columbus, Ohio. Before that, as a 12-year-old kid, I was a hobbyist, built my first pond for my pet turtles, which promptly leaked, turned green, and they began migrating away. My turtles did. And that was the beginning of my odyssey, because every summer I'd rip out my pond, rebuild it as a hobbyist, and eventually it looked pretty nice. And neighbors and friends would come over and say it was beautiful. And then one day the UPS guy was delivering a package to the front door. I was in the back, of course, putzing around in the pond, and I heard him. I said, come around back. He turned the corner. He said, this is beautiful. How did you ever buy a house with a spring on it? He thought it was a natural spring, which was, of course, a great compliment to a contractor. So I thought, no, I built this myself, man. And he goes, you did? Can you build me one? And I thought about it, and I said, yes, I could. That was 1990, and I remember telling my mom and my dad all I needed was a strong back of a wheelbarrow and a shovel, and I already had the strong back from playing football. So that Christmas, I got a wheelbarrow and a shovel beneath the Christmas tree, and Aquascape was officially launched. That was 33 years ago now. We are the largest water feature builder in the world, and I patented my products at 24 and started shipping them to other landscape contractors all over the world. We're the first manufacturer and the only manufacturer of professional-grade water feature products for contractors that actually builds ponds. So my R&D department is building water features in the Chicagoland area. We work with a lot of celebrities all over the world and influencers, from Shaquille O'Neal to Logan Paul to Will Smith. And my main goal right now is just to help my customers expand their businesses and have success with water features.
How did you go around expanding around, the world effectively? Because, it's obviously tough trying to find people, trying to scale, cash becomes an issue. Tell me about some of the challenges you faced.
Oh, well, we only have 30 minutes, so I'll try to keep it brief. After 3 decades in business, everything's happened twice now, right? To the business. My real key break after getting my patent in 1994 for my unique products that were designed from a different approach. It was a paradigm shift. Instead of designing products to filter dirty water, I would design products to build beautiful water features that happen to have clean water. I launched a mail order business. So I started mailing direct mail catalogs to contractors. And the thing that was great about that was everything was credit card. Everything was paid. So I would get an order. They'd sell a job. They'd place the order. I'd ship the products out, and I would get paid before they left the warehouse. Later, after I built up, I expanded the distribution. We have 500 distribution points now that sell our stuff, and then I had to give credit lines. But in the beginning, I didn't have to do credit lines, so that helped. Really blew up the mail order business. We became the largest direct mail marketing company in the entire green industry back in the early 2000s when, I was probably at my peak for mailing catalogs. We were mailing out 3.2 million catalogs a year. Direct to contractors, just talking about living the aquascape lifestyle and putting in fountainscapes, ponds, and pondless waterfalls. Of course, now we don't even print a catalog, right? Welcome to the digital era and social media. So now pretty much all my stuff is on social media. I got a YouTube channel with 600,000 followers. I've got about 4.7 million followers across all of our platforms, from Team Aquascape to Aquascape Inc. And really just don't mail at all any direct mail catalogs. I just, basically do everything digitally online with about 60,000 contractors across the world and 500 distribution points selling our product.
What changes you have seen? Obviously, you started off with the catalogs, now going digital. How do you monitor those trends? How do you keep up with those types of trends? You have a team that helps you do the research. Is it all with you? Are you the visionary of the company?
Well, I do have a team, about 130 people at Aquascape. I am the visionary. I'm working on the business, not in the business. I pulled myself out of the field. Basically started building ponds professionally in 91. I was out of the field after 95, so 5 years in the field. Launched my catalog business in 95. Still was in the field that year. Did $191,000 in sales in mail order business and $424,000 in construction. But the writing was on the wall because 1996, my first year in the office, we did 1.9 million in mail order sales. So just exploded from there and just kept going up. We were an Inc. 500, fastest growing company 4 years in a row from 99 through 2003, I believe, and ended up getting on the cover of Inc. magazine about entrepreneurship. I was the only guy on the cover with my shirt off because I was in a pond, was surrounded by fish. But funny story with that one. But I believe, Robert, to work on your business and not in your business as a CEO. So the question that I always ask myself is this the job of a CEO to be building ponds? That answer for me anyway was no, that's a foreman. Is this the job of a CEO to be selling ponds? No, that's a salesman. And eventually I worked my way after 5 years out of the field. My last job was probably graphic designer. I was laying out and designing the company catalogs. And I said, this is a designer job. So probably around 1999, I officially didn't have a title out there besides working on the business, not in it. And that's the future. So social media is such a big thing right now because I think that's just for the last 5-6 years. Actually 7 years. I built a pond for Logan Paul out in Encino, California. And I'm like, man, I better start this vlog thing. And at the time, he was the top vlogger. So I thought I should start this vlog thing. And that's put me down the current journey where I basically travel the world, visit my best customers, and they take me to their favorite ponds. And then I showcase them on the social media world. So the 130 teammates at Aquascape, the majority of them, the vast majority are working in the business. As the owner, as the guy working on the future, I work on the future. So I'm really the visionary on where we're going. And of course, every trend that I've ever been on, I wish I could have started a year earlier, but I try to jump on all the ones that I can and to make a difference.
I love how you keep thinking that, it's just a CEO type job. And if it's not, then you're obviously delegating it. Now, for you to be that visionary, you must either follow people, have coaches, have people that, you're trying to surround yourself or people that are better than you. So you're learning from them. So what type of people or who do you surround yourself with?
Well, listen, I was for 7-8 years in a CEO coaching group called Wittstock. Right. Used to be tech back in the day. I have quite an extensive network of people that have accomplished a lot in their life. I've always had a coach. I have a business coach to this day. But the reality is, most of my management team now has been there for over 20 years.
Now, you talked about your team, how a lot of them have been there for 10, 20 years. Now, obviously, you're doing something to retain those employees. You've probably got good culture. What are some of the things that you're doing to take care of them, to retain your employees? Because that's a good amount of people.
Well, it used to be more too. We've changed our business model, but it's the hardest thing to do in business is to build your team, and it's also the most important thing is to build a team. For me, with building a team, I think the first job of a CEO is to guide and guard the company culture. And I learned culture playing sports. I was never a student. I never sat still long enough. I don't know if you could tell from my personality. I'm not a sit still type of a guy. I learned how to run a business and create a culture from playing sports. That is my number one job, is to guide and guard the company culture. And then we have to find people that fit our culture. Our company culture is so strong that after 3 months, if somebody doesn't fit it, they're going to leave on their own because they're not going to fit into our culture. So that's the number one thing to do in business, is to build your team. It's the hardest thing to do in business. It's still hard for Aquascape with 130 people. But the reality of the matter is that if you focus on creating a culture, then you'll attract the right kind of people, and then more importantly, retain the people. And that's the key to Aquascape's success. Is almost all of the Aquascape managers have been there. This is our 33rd year in business, and almost all of them have been there for over 20.
Now, when you get contacted by, somebody famous or influencers or something, and you go out there, design a pro, how do you then, make sure that's implemented? I mean, do you have a team of people that actually go in and execute the work? Do you then subcontractor, local contractor? Because you could be pulled all over the world.
Yeah, listen, we manufacture the water feature equipment. We ship to distributors all over the world who sell to contractors all over the world. And so let's say when I build a pond for like Shaquille O'Neal, I'll bring in certified contractors, artists of the year, if that's a special build. But a lot of them will either turn over directly to the contractor themselves to build it, or we'll do a regional training event sometimes at their places. But pretty much my goal is to have every area of the globe covered with a certified Aquascape contractor, somebody that's been trained in the Aquascape methodology. So we are almost always, when we're an out-of-state build out of Illinois, we're working with a certified Aquascape contractor that's in that marketplace. And a lot of times we won't even ourselves touch the project. We will just turn it straight over to the CAC in that area, and he will work with that influencer or that person to do it. So, I'm a manufacturer of water feature equipment. I happen to install in Chicago locally, and we will travel for influencers all over the world.
I'm sure during COVID, you probably felt the effects of the supply chain. How did you overcome that? What are some of the repercussions from that period of time, and how that affects your business these days?
Well, Robert, one of my favorite sayings is all business is fixing problems. Mm. So we had the problem of the biggest sales ever, the most demand ever with people at home and flush with COVID cash. And then, of course, we had the problem with supply chain, being able to get the products in-house. So it's either you don't have enough sales and too much inventory, or you got too much sales and not enough inventory. Whatever it is, all business is fixing problems. What you got to do is not let those problems demotivate you, because if there was no problems, everybody would have a business, right? Mm-hmm. So supply chain, fortunately, is not an issue any longer, but now it's just creating the demand, which is why I work so hard on the social media side and everything else to grow the Aquascape brand and live in the Aquascape lifestyle brand. I guess the takeaway for me to answer your question is all businesses is fixing problems, whether it's supply chain, whether it's not enough orders, or whatever it is. And you just got to make sure that it doesn't demotivate you, because if you didn't have those problems, you wouldn't have a business.
What are some of the, if you're dealing with certified contractors and you're dealing with contractors all over the world, what are some of the biggest challenges you see or hear from them?
Well, my goal with Aquascape is it's a franchise system without a franchise fee. So just follow the plan, Stan. And so when somebody's having an issue, when you actually break it down, like what are you not doing? We actually have a survey, a 300 question survey. It's a self-ranking survey, but we send it to everybody else out there. 5 always doing it, 3 sometimes, 0 never. And it's amazing when you actually take that survey. Oh, wait, you don't have a pond at your house. You're trying to sell something that you yourself don't have. Wow, maybe you should correct that. Oh, you used to do this, but you don't do that anymore. Oh, interesting. Maybe you should start doing that again. So if I could just have a magic wand and get everybody to just follow the plan, Stan, and be as on point as possible, it's amazing how many people, us included, everybody, you used to do something that works and then you stop doing it. And then all of a sudden you see the ramifications a year or 2 later. Oh, wait, maybe I should go back to start doing what I used to do. So, biggest problem that I have is trying to get people just follow the plan, Stan.
No, so true. I go in and coach a lot of companies, and they're always talking about, we need to build processes, and then they struggle doing processes, and then if they do eventually do them, then they don't follow them,
or the person in charge of that process leaves, and then no one else picks up the slack. There's all business is fixing problems and course correction along the way.
Going to wrap up here in a minute or two. For those, there's a huge amount of turnover in the landscape industry. A lot of companies being bought up right now. A lot of private equity coming in. But what's also cool is seeing some of the younger companies. People are maybe learning quickly who are growing super quick. They're growing to 0 to 5 million in literally 2 or 3 years. What's when you look back over your 30 plus years, what are some of what's the, I suppose, 1 or 2 biggest bits of advice for those up and coming business owners?
I think the most important thing is to know yourself. I think I know that I'm good at about this much, and I surround myself with people that are good at what they do, so that I'm able to do what I do. And I think too many people wear too many hats in their business. The old adage that I can do it better myself. Of course you can do it better yourself, but if you get somebody that can do it good enough, maybe not as good as you, and you give them enough rope, the winners will climb and pull you up higher with them. Of course, a lot of people will hang themselves, but if you try to wear all the hats in your business, you're gonna pull your hair out because you're never going to be able to grow the way that you should. And knowing yourself, knowing what your strengths are and your weaknesses. I have a lot of weaknesses, and I just surround myself with people that's their strengths, so I can just focus on playing in that little zone that I'm good at. And if I stay in my lane, which still can be a challenge in my business to this day, unfortunately, if I stay in my lane, everything works out really well, and I give the people the responsibility to stay in their lanes, and then they pull me up with them, because eventually, if you get the right people, because you prove them they're the right people by giving them the rope and they climb, they'll pull you up higher with them. But if you're going to say to yourself, I wish I could find somebody just like me, the last person that my company needs in the business is somebody just like me, because we would double the problems.
I love that. That's great advice, Greg. Great advice. How can people get in touch with you if they want to learn about your story? If they want to find out about your products or your services, what's the best way for them to do that? Right
the
there.
Pond Guy on all the social medias. Greg Wittstock, the Pond Guy on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, aquascapeinc.com. On the website. And the easiest way to be successful in life, Robert, is to find somebody doing what you want to do and do what they did. And we became the largest installer of decorative water features in the world by putting together a 20-product and 20-step systematic approach that we follow every single time. And now my goal is just to help other people succeed with their business. If you help other people get what they want, you get what you want. There is not a single thing that you can put in a landscape that will A, have more of an impact than a decorative water feature, or B, more profitable than a water feature, because you're not competing like a commodity on square footage price for a patio, or cutting grass and competing with every Tom, Dick, and Harry. You're selling a niche, and the goal with selling a niche is to put a system and a process around it so that you can replicate your success. And that's what Aquascape helps contractors all over the world do.
Awesome. Greg, it's been such a pleasure talking to you today. Thanks for the introduction. Thanks for your influence on the industry, and look forward to keeping in touch with you.
Hey, thanks a lot. I look forward to watching this and sharing it and helping you guys grow as well.
Thank you, Greg. Hopefully that was pure dead brilliant for you today, and you got some great Ironman mindset takeaways for your business or your leadership role. This is Robert Clickybeard. Love to get you, your friends, your employees to join us in our future journey. So please subscribe to your various podcast channels. Visit our website, commerciallandscaper.com or wilson-360.com. You could check out our digital courses. You could check out peer groups, coaching, my book, Ironman Mindset for Entrepreneurs. And we just want you to have a pure, dead, brilliant day. And finally, thanks again to Boss Business Management Software, which is the ultimate cloud-based solution providing comprehensive insights and tools to optimize performance. Join the Boss community today and transform your business so you too can say, my boss is working for me. Cheers, everyone.